Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ringside Wrestling Entertainment. This is Joel Perez here, bringing you your weekly episodic news show where we cover all the news in the WWE each and every single Saturday here. This is Behind the Mic, and it is Behind the Mic episode number 30. Wow, can you believe that? We've been doing this for 30 goddamn weeks in a row. Jesus Christ, how time flies. It feels like just yesterday I was starting and experimenting with starting this Behind the Mic, which I originally intended to be the flagship show and the flagship podcast type content on my channel. And so far, Behind the Mic, it kind of has been the most successful thing on my channel each and every single week, covering these news stories. And we do have a very, very monumental episode of Behind the Mic here, because the amount of top news stories that are in this video is absolutely unbelievable. I want to cover all of these news stories as top news stories, but there's just so many big news stories around this week that I might even have to make another episode tomorrow, or not even an episode, just a breaking news story with even more news, because there's just so much news breaking right now. So we're covering all this and so much more on Behind the Mic. But of course, like I have to do in each and every single video, make sure to go check out all the other content on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel, because there's so much content to go check out on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. You have Monday Night Raw and Smackdown reviews for this week up on the channel. Very, very good Raw and Smackdown reviews, talking about every single little thing that happened on the shows. If you want an educated opinion, if you missed Raw and Smackdown last week and you want an educated opinion on what happened, make sure to go check out those reviews, as well as WWE Battleground, which happened this past Sunday, I believe. I'm not even sure because it's such a blur, but we did a review on WWE Battleground 2017, worst pay-per-view of the year. If you want to hear me ranting, bro, that is the pay-per-view review to go check out. So we cover all the pay-per-views right here on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. Monday Night Raw and Smackdown reviews each and every single week. Preview and predictions to those pay-per-views, which are up on the channel right now. Preview and predictions for WWE Battleground, if you want to go see what I originally thought was going to happen and what I thought of the build to Battleground as well. We got NXT TakeOver specials, reviews for those. NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 coming August 19th, I believe. I will be reviewing that show after that show goes off the air, of course. So there's so much content, as well as breaking news videos. There's a Summerslam video and what I would do to book Summerslam correctly that I've been trying to get out and I've been trying to find time to work on. So there's a lot of content on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel, and there's one great way to not miss a single thing, and that is by subscribing, of course, to the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel and clicking on that notification bell. So make sure to click on that subscribe button. Everybody says this, but make sure to smash on that like button if you like what you're hearing here. And of course, make sure to comment on all the news stories, what you think of all the news stories that I'm about to report right here in the comment section below. All the links to the videos I mentioned are in the description below, so make sure to go check that out. But we're talking about breaking news here, and there's a lot of breaking news to report on this week's edition of Behind the Mic. Jesus Christ, there's a bunch of shit here. We've got news on WWE. If ratings continue to fall, all WWE programming might be moved to social media outlets like Facebook and the WWE Network. What the hell is up with that? That's an interesting fucking news story right there. We have news on another superstar shakeup happening after Summerslam this fall, which I think is an absolutely idiotic idea. We're going to discuss that right here on Behind the Mic. here today. We've got massive plans for Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose going into SummerSlam and as a team in general going into the future. So that's interesting right there. We've got rumors for SummerSlam 2017 and WWE accidentally revealing a huge spoiler for the WWE Championship match and what's going to happen next week on Smackdown Live. We're talking about that one right there, aka John Cena Nakamura. What's going to happen in that situation right there? So that's very interesting. We have rumors for John Cena moving to Raw very, very soon for a huge rivalry with none other than the Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe. That's a story that interests me right there vastly, bro. Very, very good story right there that I'm excited to report myself. And of course, we have Sami Zayn finally receiving his big main roster push after WWE SummerSlam. Another story right there that interests me greatly. For now, ladies and gentlemen, those are all the stories on Behind the Mic that I've got for you here today. So make sure to stay tuned to the video because we're going straight into the news stories. We're going to start with this story here about the Superstar Shakeup because this story just truly fucking boggles my mind. I don't know what the hell WWE is thinking here, but news story here that the WWE Superstar Shakeup may return this fall. Main roster stars may also get demoted to NXT, which that is also a very, very interesting part of this news story. Who could be demoted to NXT? I wouldn't even say demoted if you asked me. I would say promoted to NXT because if anybody gets moved down to NXT, more likely than not, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be treated better down in NXT than they are on the main roster. But that's besides the point. Let's get into the article here. By this time of the year, WWE should already have had its annual brand draft. But instead of redrafting everyone to Raw and SmackDown, WWE had a Superstar Shakeup in April, switching some, but not all superstars from one main roster brand to another. However, it would appear that the company isn't done moving its talents around, as another shakeup is now being rumored to take place this fall, with the possibility of some main roster wrestlers getting sent down to WWE's developmental promotion, NXT. According to a report from Wrestling Inc., the Wrestling Observer newsletter has learned that there is definitely some talk of WWE making some roster moves in the fall. But on top of the wrestlers who may go from Monday Night Raw to SmackDown Live or vice versa, there may also be some wrestlers from the main roster who may end up moving down, or should I say up, to NXT. The report did not specify any wrestlers in particular who may likely change brands or go to NXT as part of the rumored WWE Superstar Shakeup this fall, but Wrestling Inc. did drop some clues as to what type of wrestler may be sent down to NXT. Those who may have been successful in developmental, but much less so on the main roster. The moves from the main roster to NXT would be for talents that were major stars in NXT that Vince McMahon is not going to push on Raw or SmackDown, even if they are over, or talents who are doing nothing on the main roster, with the feeling that they could be more useful as top stars in NXT. As documented by WrestleZone this April, WWE's first Superstar Shakeup involved more than 20 wrestlers and personalities switching brands. The most prominent names included Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt, and Alexa Bliss going to Monday Night Raw, and Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Charlotte Flair going to SmackDown Live. So far, the WWE talents involved in the shakeup have enjoyed mixed results in changing brands, with some, such as current WWE Champion Jinder Mahal, rapidly moving up the card, and others getting lost in the shuffle in recent weeks. The same may apply in the fall version of WWE Superstar Shakeup should it push forward as rumored. This time, the added element of main roster talents getting sent back to NXT could make the second shakeup more interesting, as fans believe it could result in current NXT standouts like Bobby Roode, Asuka, and the Authors of Pain getting called up to the main roster. But if fan comments on the Wrestling Inc. article are any indication, this could also mean a trip back to developmental for the likes of Apollo Crews, Bo Dallas, Dana Brooke, and Elias Sampson, who haven't quite been able to replicate early success on either Raw or SmackDown. This is very interesting, and the only part of this that interests me is the part where main roster stars go back down to NXT. Because, very sincerely, there are some people who have not been made, top to bottom, have not been crafted to be in the main roster. And they're just simply gimmicks that can only get over on NXT and that can severely help the NXT roster. Guys like Aiden English, The Ascension, who has not been used very, very surprisingly. Those are guys who come to name. Lana definitely. Lana needs to get the fuck out of the main roster. And it's not because her gimmick won't work on the main roster. It's because NXT is a developmental brand, and she can still grow. She can still use growth, and she is somebody who could be sent down there and can vastly grow as a wrestler. Dana Brooke definitely needs to be sent back down to NXT. Don't know what they're doing with her on the main roster. Absolutely awful there. Guys like Kalisto can help out NXT vastly. Sin Cara can help out NXT very, very well. You look at tag teams on the main roster like the Ascension. NXT's needing tag teams right now. The Ascension, longest reigning NXT tag team champions in NXT, they can really add some star power down there, build up some tag teams down there, because these guys are not being used on the main roster. Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel would have been on that list if they wouldn't have been in the Mist roster, so I'm glad they're getting used. Apollo Crews would have definitely been on that list, and kind of still is on that list of get sent back down to the main roster, or to NXT, because they're really not using you for anything special on the main roster. But besides that, besides the fact that there are a lot of people who just have not been used appropriately on the main roster and need to get sent back down to NXT, because that is where they will thrive, that is where they will have success in the WWE, and that's okay. That is okay if you can only have success in NXT. It's a damn shame that they won't use you appropriately like you should be on the main roster, but NXT is the place to be for a lot of people, and there's a lot of people who want to come to WWE and they want to go to NXT. AJ Styles himself said, I wish I had gone to NXT before coming up to the main roster, because it is such a hard transition. I would even have the audacity to send Mike Kanellis and Maria down to NXT, because that is a very NXT gimmick, and if you want to learn the ropes, like AJ Styles said, I mean, AJ Styles is AJ Styles, and even he had difficulty. The best wrestler in the world, arguably right now, had difficulty adjusting to the main roster. So imagine a Mike Kanellis and the struggles he's having adjusting to the main roster feel of things, and how everything is just so hard to learn. He would vastly benefit from going down to NXT. That would give time for his gimmick to get over with at least some portion of the audience, where right now nobody knows who Mike Kanellis is and nobody gives a fuck who Mike Kanellis is. So there's a lot of guys who can benefit from going back down, men and women, Dana Brooke, Lana, men and women who can benefit from going back down to NXT, and I think that is without saying right now. But as far as doing another Superstar Shakeup, I mean, what is the point in that? Look at how stacked your rosters are right now, bro. Look at how stacked these rosters are. You have on SmackDown AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Randy Orton, John Cena, who's in the middle there, but John Cena's working for SmackDown right now, Rusev, I mean, Ty Dillinger. You got Baron Corbin. All these names, bro, that's 10 solid names that can be working your upper mid card to main event scene. If you want to use Mike Kanellis correctly, he can definitely be in that saying. But right now they're using him like shit, so I don't know what I can say there. But that's 10 very good names that 5 or so of those names, Jinder Mahal, who's been built up, whether you like it or not. Jinder Mahal has been built up. I mean, those are some very, very good names. You got Dolph Ziggler there, too. Dolph Ziggler, if you want to use him, he can be something good like he was last year in fall of 2016 for SmackDown Live. You've got so many names there. You look at Monday Night Raw. Braun Strowman, whether you like him or not. Roman Reigns. Samoa Joe. Brock Lesnar working for the Monday Night Raw brand right now, at least. But continuing on here, The Miz, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose. I mean, that's a nice list of fucking names, bro. You have your mid-card. Elias Sampson, Finn Balor. Again, other names. These guys are being actually used right now pretty well. Bray Wyatt on Monday Night Raw right now. I mean, look at all those names. There's nothing that needs to be changed around there. We've barely seen these guys. From April to now, we have barely seen a majority of these guys work together in dream matches. You look at SmackDown. I still want to see another go-around of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. I want to see Sami Zayn and Rusev have a small feud right there. That looks like a nice feud. You got Kevin Owens and Ty Dillinger who can work with each other. You got AJ Styles and Baron Corbin who can have a nice program. AJ Styles and Rusev, Nakamura and Rusev. I mean, there's a lot of feuds there that can be worked around, and you can really have something nice there that we still have not seen yet. There's nothing that needs to be shaken up if everything is still so fresh. And with the addition of NXT stars like a Bobby Roode, when an Eric Young comes up, there's really nothing that needs to be shaken up for the very, very immediate future, for a long time, at least until WrestleMania next year, I would say, bro. Everything is still very fresh. There are no injuries plaguing the WWE right now. I feel like everything is still very, very on a good note as far as rosters come. And I'm just talking about upper mid-card to main event scene right there with Raw and SmackDown. Look at the women's division, which that's something that could use help right there. You can bring some girls up from NXT, especially with the Mae Young Classic happening right now. You can bring up Asuka to SmackDown, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay to Monday Night Raw. That would help. So there's nothing that needs to be shaken up right now. Everything, if you ask me at least, is fine for now. The only thing that needs help right now are the tag team division and a little bit the women's division. But besides that, nothing at all needs to be shaken up, if you ask me. And it would be an absolute mistake to do a superstar shakeup. And I saw a video like this about this, and they were saying that, well, the rosters would just end up looking like Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw would be SmackDown before or after the draft, the original draft, and SmackDown would be Monday Night Raw after the original draft. So what the hell is the point? What the hell is the point? To get the rosters back situated how they were before the draft, just on opposite brands? There's no difference there. There is no difference there. The rosters are looking good, at least for now. At least for now. And I think there's nothing at all that needs to be worried about, at least for now, that is. So that is my thought on this superstar shakeup. I think it is absolutely ridiculous. What you need to worry on is getting your NXT call-ups up here to freshen up these rosters. When need be, get these NXT call-ups on the main roster. That will freshen up your rosters. Demote some people to NXT, or promote some people to NXT, because these people are going to be better off in NXT. The Ascension, who can help the NXT tag team division right now, which really isn't looking that good. Really isn't looking that good. Lana and Dana Brooke, who can definitely use the fucking practice and the rigorous training that you get when you're in that performance center. Some failures on the main roster that WWE has not bothered to use. Aiden English, since the fact that Simon Gotch got just fucking fired from the WWE and the Vaudevillains weren't really doing anything anyways. Aiden English could be a good hand if brought back down to NXT. I don't know, but you can do anything better than a superstar shakeup, if you ask me. For now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into another topic concerning these brands. But for now, leave your comments down below. What are your thoughts on the superstar shakeup that is rumored to be coming this fall? I think it is completely unnecessary. Demote some people to NXT, or promote some people to NXT, I should say, and get some call-ups. Bobby Roode, Eric Young, Asuka, Billy Kay, and Peyton Royce. Get some NXT call-ups up to the main roster, and you will be fine until next year's WrestleMania, where then maybe you can start looking at doing another superstar shakeup, or maybe even another draft. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, that is what I think about that. Let's move on here. We got this crazy news here. I just found this absolutely out of left field, and this is a report stating that if WWE ratings continue to fall as they have been steadily falling for years, all WWE programming may be taken off of TV and moved to the WWE Network and Facebook, which I find absolutely crazy. As technology continues to advance and the world continues to change, there remains the possibility that all WWE programming could end up moving off television. But is it closer than we think? In the last few months, the ratings for both Monday Night Raw and Smackdown Live have plummeted, and I think that goes without saying, which may bring about desperate measures and even another end to the brand extension. If numbers continue to drop, it could be no more WWE on TV at all. Ever since WrestleMania 33 in early April, the ratings for both of their big TV shows have continued to drop and sort of hit a stopping point and a stay low. Some superstars have returned, while others have been brought in to help ratings go up, but nothing has really worked at all. While WWE might not be overly and desperately worried about it right now, there is going to be a time when something drastic needs to be done. According to pop culture, Vince McMahon may actually have the resolution already in hand, but it could mean a huge change in the way the company has done things for decades. It could mean taking all WWE programming off TV and moving it to the WWE Network and possibly Facebook. On Thursday, WWE released their Quarter 2 results for 2017, and there were some rather staggering numbers to take in. While it is publicly known that the ratings have been in a steep decline, the numbers for the WWE Network have shot up in a huge way, with more than 1.63 million average paid subscribers. That's a full 8% increase from that same time period in 2016. CBS Chicago reports that WWE's online presence is doing nothing but growing in huge amounts and in a short amount of time, with more than 9.1 billion views of WWE's videos on Facebook and YouTube in the first 6 months of 2017. A complete transition to a digital format may not be too far off. According to Decider, the current deal between WWE and USA Network expires at the end of September 2019, and that is for both Monday Night Raw and Smackdown Live. USA pays around $140 million a year for the broadcast rights of WWE programming, but there may be more money to be made elsewhere. It is possible that a new deal from Facebook, yes, you heard me correctly, Facebook, another online platform, or even the USA Network, could bring in more than $400 million for Vince McMahon's company. The only decision that needs to be made is if WWE wants to remain on TV or go completely onto the internet. Ever since making the current deal with the USA Network in 2014, the WWE Network has advanced in huge ways, and with an incredible amount of new subscribers, while programming is going to remain on TV for at least a couple more years, the network is looking better off with each passing week of low ratings. Fans really need to get the most out of viewing shows such as Monday Night Raw and Smackdown live on TV while they can. It may be only a matter of time until the two brands join NXT, WWE Main Event, Superstars, 205 Live, and all the pay-per-view events on the WWE Network. Declining television ratings are a real issue for Vince McMahon and the rest of the company, but luckily there are better alternatives out there such as Facebook and other digital formats for them to land on. This is absolutely wild, because if you consider it, 10 years ago, you asked somebody, do you have a television set? Do you have a cable? What's your cable company? Time Warner Cable, Verizon, this motherfucker, that motherfucker, right? Dish Network, DirecTV, all that shit in New York over here. And you'd have an answer, bro. Oh, I have fucking Optimum, or whatever the hell it's called. I have Time Warner Cable, I have Verizon. Oh, I have Dish Network, I have DirecTV. And everybody would have an answer. But now, you ask somebody, oh, what's your cable? I don't have cable. Oh, I don't have cable. I have Sling TV, YouTube TV, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Video, all this shit. And there's just so many alternatives to TV nowadays. And you've got to consider that as a decline, as a reason for the declining ratings of Monday Night Raw. There are just so many other ways to watch Monday Night Raw nowadays than just turning on your television set. And I don't know why I haven't transitioned to that, bro, but the only reason I have a cable box at this point in time is to watch Monday Night Raw and SmackDown each and every single week. And when The Walking Dead is on, sure, I'll watch it, but I don't even have AMC. I just watch it on demand the next day after the show has gone off the air, right after. So there's no point for me to have cable besides watching Raw and SmackDown at this point. And imagine that if they were to move to a Facebook, if they were to move to something I'm already paying for, $9.99, the WWE Network. Imagine that. Imagine how that would completely change things around for the WWE. Because a reason for most of these declining ratings, you realize it, WWE has a lot more fans than just the 3 million people who are tuning in to Monday Night Raw every week. And I think that's just something that has to be recognized. There are so many people who go and watch the clips afterwards of what happens on Facebook, on YouTube, the little clips after the show of what happens. There are so many people who have Hulu and watch the cut down version of Monday Night Raw there. There are so many people who watch it and VCR it. So there's a lot more viewers for Monday Night Raw than just the people who tune into USA Network each and every single week. And I think that is something that has to be realized. That is something that has to be realized. And the amount of press that would be, or not press, the amount of publicity that would be for the WWE Network if the two flagship shows were to be moved there, I think the WWE Network and the amount of subscribers it would have would skyrocket, because the only way to watch Monday Night Raw would be through the WWE Network. There's no more USA anymore, and those 3 million people who are watching there, probably a fourth of them, or a third of them I should say, are subscribed to the WWE Network. I say another million of those people are going to be like, shit, I want to watch Monday Night Raw, I want to watch SmackDown, and they're going to flock over to the WWE Network, and I think that could be an instant 1 million subscribers for the WWE Network, plus the people who VCR it. Shit, I can't VCR it anymore because I don't have time to watch it. I could just watch it on the WWE Network now. Those are subscriptions for the WWE Network, and things are rolling, bro. Things are rolling, and all of a sudden, it becomes a fact that you don't need to depend on the USA Network anymore. And that just goes into the decline of television as a whole. As a whole. WWE, or, I mean, the cable industry and the TV industry isn't the same thing it was during the Attitude Era, 1998, 1999, when everybody had cable and everybody was tuning in to watch Monday Night Raw every week. Now there's so many ways, or so many other ways to go about it. You can watch the clips on social media, you can VCR it, you can watch it on Hulu, and I mean, WWE, it has way more than the 3 million people watching Monday Night Raw every week that are tuning in, and I think that can be taken advantage of by putting it all into one wrap and accounting for all those viewers on the WWE Network and both Facebook, and WWE is not going to be tied down. They're not going to be tied down. There were rumors that the whole reason for the Superstar Shakeup was to appease the USA Network. To appease the USA Network for the declining ratings. Now, WWE's not going to have anybody to answer to anymore, and maybe we can get even more and freer television. Maybe we can go back to even getting TV 14, because you're not going to be tied down to this television network who just wants this good publicity and this good image, no bad shit on their fucking network, who want the best ratings, so they're gonna force you to do a fucking brand split when you really don't need to have a brand split. They're gonna force you to do this, to do that. Now they're not gonna be tied down, and that might even result in better WWE television. That might even result in better WWE television. So I think come 2019, maybe Monday Night Raw will even move back to 2 hours, because it was USA who wanted that 3-hour Monday Night Raw. So, I don't know, bro. Maybe Monday Night Raw might even move back to 2 hours. And 2019 could be the day, in September of 2019, whatever it is, it could be the time that we see the WWE take their things, they take their bags, and they go to a social media outlet instead of going to a TV network. And it could be a big, big change in the way we watch Monday Night Raw and Smackdown Live. And it could be a big change in the cable industry. Imagine how many companies are going to take their television shows, and instead of putting them directly onto a USA Network or some fucking AMC or some network, some fucking TV show network. And instead of doing that, they're going to put it on Netflix or a Hulu. Imagine that. It's going to be very, very interesting to see that. But besides that, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I think about that. Leave your comments down in the comment section below. What do you think is going to happen because of this? But for now, let's move on here. Now, instead of talking about the future of WWE programming, let's move on to talking about what the fuck is going on with actual rivalries in the WWE right now. And what future rivalry that we can see could be, and that could be rumors right here of John Cena moving to Raw soon for a huge rivalry with none other than Samoa Joe. John Cena's status as a free agent hasn't been utilized yet on WWE programming, but the fans knew it was only a matter of time before WWE officials brought him to Raw. It has been rumored that Cena will begin a feud with Jinder Mahal over the WWE Championship heading into Summerslam. For a little longer, Cena will remain loyal to SmackDown Live, but that is expected to change towards the end of the summer. In August, John Cena is being advertised for some Raw live events throughout New England and some other cities. However, it has been reported that John Cena is scheduled to face Samoa Joe for the first time in a WWE ring during a Raw live event in Tupelo, Mississippi. I don't know why the fuck they're being gifted to that match, but that will happen on August 27th. As of this writing, there is no confirmation, but the expectation is he'll be moving to Raw shortly after SummerSlam next month. Both John Cena and Samoa Joe will be involved in the WWE Universal title match and the WWE Championship match at WWE SummerSlam. Neither man is expected to leave Brooklyn with either title, but the powers that be showcasing their first encounter during an average live event is an indication that WWE officials have huge creative plans for Cena versus Joe to begin their long-anticipated rivalry after the biggest party of the summer, which is very, very interesting if you ask me. But originally, there were some plans for Cena and Joe to feud heading into WrestleMania 33. The plans were for Samoa Joe to dominate Cena and write him off of WWE television for months. However, the decision was made for the Destroyer to be moved to Monday Night Raw instead. But John Cena's new status as a free agent on WWE programming has given the powers that be the option to begin a massive feud between Cena and Joe very, very soon. Ooh, that's very, very interesting. If John Cena were to move to Monday Night Raw, what better rivalry could it be to have him face the Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe? That's a dream match of mine. I'm sure it's a dream match of yours. We've already gotten Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe. We've already gotten John Cena. Well, we're getting next week John Cena and Shinsuke motherfucking Nakamura, whether you like it or not, for Smackdown Live next week. So, we're getting a couple fucking dream matches here. Why not go with Joe versus Cena, just as long as they don't give it away for free on Monday Night Raw? This is a rivalry we've all wanted to see, and what better way to use a returning John Cena than to have him hopefully put over, and that is very specific here, put over Samoa Joe. But that is just my belief. Let's continue this article here. If it will fucking load, that would be absolutely fantastic. Here we are, scrolling down as I had to reload the fucking page here. But here we are. On paper, WWE officials could be trying to boost ticket sales for WWE live events after SummerSlam, but Cena vs. Joe is a rivalry that wrestling fans have been dying to see for over 15 years now. There will be a lot of attention on their match in Tupelo, Mississippi at the end of August. John Cena's schedule has a lot more dates with the Red Brands, which means his move to Raw and a feud with Samoa Joe are plausible. I think this could be very, very huge for Samoa Joe. This could be a great rivalry for John Cena. There's a lot of upsides to this rivalry, and like I said, if John Cena were to move to Monday Night Raw, what better match could we get out of it than a dream match with Samoa Joe and John Cena? That kind of negates the fact that Samoa Joe would win the Universal title at SummerSlam, unfortunately, if you ask me, because, John Cena's not going to go from Smackdown Live, loses his match for the WWE Championship, and goes to Monday Night Raw and immediately is vying for a Universal title shot. I don't think that would be the case. There's obviously people lined up for Joe on Monday Night Raw who are more deserving immediately. Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns have to come to mind, unfortunately. But, if we were to see John Cena and Samoa Joe, it would be the next best thing than Samoa Joe actually winning the Universal Championship. As long as Samoa Joe comes out the victor, this clearly can be a very, very good feud. And whenever John Cena is in a feud, he brings the intensity to that feud. Whenever Samoa Joe is in a feud, he brings the intensity to that feud. So this could be one of the best rivalries that we've seen in quite a long time if it does come to fruition on WWE television, and I would be very, very excited to see this go on over a championship. It would add the stakes, it would add the intensity even more so. So I don't know what WWE's plans are going into the future, but if this is one of them, I cannot say that I am not excited to see what WWE is going to be doing this fall. Leave your comments in the comment section below. What do you think of John Cena versus Samoa Joe going into WWE Monday Night Raw, into Monday Night Raw pay-per-views and Monday Night Raw television in the fall after WWE SummerSlam? Leave your comments in the comment section below, because for now, we're moving on here. Continuing this John Cena talk right here, his match with Shinsuke Nakamura that is being prematurely booked on Smackdown Live next week. The result of that match and the plans going into SummerSlam may have been revealed on a WWE Summerslam poster. Yes, that poster that you are looking at on your screen right now, that may have revealed the plans to John Cena and Shinsuke Nakamura's match next week, and WWE SummerSlam's plan for the WWE Smackdown Live creative team's plan for SummerSlam and the WWE Championship. As you see there, you got the Fatal 4-Way contestants for the WWE Universal Championship with Lesnar, you got Strowman, you got Joe, and Reigns. That is confirmed. That is going to be a match at SummerSlam. All four of those guys are going to be in a match against each other. Then you got the confirmed match of Bayley and Alexa Bliss. That was confirmed when Bayley beat Sasha Banks last week on Monday Night Raw. And, of course, you have Naomi and Natalya, which was confirmed at Battlegrounds on Sunday. Last Sunday, that would be, when Natalya won the Women's Fatal 5-Way. Now you look at it right here, it looks like all these contestants are in a match together. Everybody else is in a match together, and everybody else has a match confirmed for SummerSlam. But then you look at Shinsuke Nakamura, Jinder Mahal, and John Cena. Isn't it peculiar to you that all three of these guys are on the poster? They're all vying for the WWE Championship match. Jinder Mahal, of course, being the WWE Champion, and Shinsuke Nakamura and John Cena in a match next week. Isn't that interesting to you guys? Now, the rumor is that next week's match is going to somehow result in a triple threat match for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam. And that could be very, very interesting because I like that result. I don't like the multi-man matches that we're getting at SummerSlam. I mean, clearly you got a Fatal 4-Way for the Universal Championship. Speaking of that Fatal 4-Way, probably one of the most exciting multi-man matches that I've been excited for in WWE for a while, because you look at the guys in that matchup, there's nothing but legitimacy and power and dominance and strength and just everything in that match. But you look at Shinsuke Nakamura and John Cena clearly going to fight next week. That match could end, and the rumor is that it could end via an interference by a Baron Corbin, or maybe some bullshit finish. Hopefully not a double pin. Hopefully not a fucking double pin, because first of all, you don't want Shinsuke Nakamura being pinned. I don't give a fuck if it's a double pin or anything else. And then second of all, John Cena, if he loses this match, where does that leave John Cena for WWE SummerSlam? Nobody fucking knows. If Nakamura loses this match, where does that leave him for SummerSlam? First of all, it leaves him looking like shit because Nakamura just took a loss, which he shouldn't at all. And then you got to think, who the hell is he going to face after that? But it looks like Cena and Nakamura may both be getting the better ends of this situation, because it might result in some type of interference, whether it's a Baron Corbin, a double pin, and we might see both these guys in a triple threat match against Jinder Mahal at WWE SummerSlam. So that is very, very interesting news. I did not think of that when I was doing my SmackDown Live review, and after my initial reaction, still don't think John Cena versus Shinsuke Nakamura should be given away on SmackDown Live on free television. I think that's a match that should be going into SummerSlam, being that it is the second biggest pay-per-view of the year, being that it is a WrestleMania-worthy match that you have right there. Dream match being given away on free television. Jesus Christ. When have you ever heard of that? Oh, wait, in the WWE, of course. But those could be the plans going into SummerSlam. If those are the plans, I think those are some very, very, very good plans, because a singles match with Jinder Mahal is not a good match at all, bro, and you know that. I don't give a fuck if it's AJ Styles. I don't give a fuck if it's Shinsuke Nakamura. It could be Jesus Christ. God damn it, it's still not going to be a good singles match with Jinder Mahal, because, I mean, Jinder Mahal is just awful in the fucking ring. So a triple threat allows this match to be good, because you have the dynamic of Nakamura and Cena, and guys like Jinder Mahal usually handle better in multi-man matches. So I think this is very, very good. It allows both Nakamura and Cena to be given the spotlight, and it allows much more easily for Baron Corbin to come in at the end of the night, make this a fatal four-way, similar to what Seth Rollins did, making Lesnar versus Reigns a triple threat. Cashes in on Jinder Mahal, who's clearly going to be in fucking dire straits in this match. And it's a 1-2-3. It's also a way to punish Jinder Mahal for his actions against Randy Orton in the Punjabi prison. Got the fucking Singh brothers in there. Got the fucking everybody in there. Jesus Christ. The great Khali. Jesus Christ. Got his grandma in there. His grandpa in there. So this is probably the best result out of what we can get out of the match with Jinder Mahal, John Cena, and Shinsuke Nakamura next week. Neither man walks out looking bad because it's going to end up that both men go to SummerSlam for the WWE Championship. So I like it better than I had originally thought in mind, and I am all down for it. Leave your comments in the comment section below. What do you think of the triple threat that we can possibly be getting at SummerSlam, at least according to this poster? For now, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on here. We got plans for Dean Ambrose and Seth freaking Rollins going in to WWE SummerSlam, and it looks like they could be doing something interesting with these guys. At least something more interesting than they have been doing with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose over the past couple months. Over recent weeks, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins have found themselves in pursuit of the same goal. The Miz has been feuding with the Lunatic Fringe for most of the year over the Intercontinental title, but Rollins has teamed with Ambrose in pursuit of the Miz and his Miztourage. On Raw this week, the former Shield members defeated Miz, Bo Dallas, and Curtis Axel in a handicap match, but it's just the beginning for them. The WWE Universe is happy about that, but they are even more excited to see Ambrose and Rollins on the same page for the first time in years. However, their on-screen friendship hasn't healed completely, but the expectation is the storyline will continue on Raw heading into WWE SummerSlam. There is a rumor about Ambrose and Rollins being done with The Miz. That means WWE officials have some new plans for them. It's being reported that the WWE officials are moving forward with the Hardys versus the Revival headed into the biggest party of the summer, and there could be another tag team match, which means Sheamus and Cesaro don't have challengers yet for the Raw Tag Team titles, and the rumor is that Ambrose and Rollins are expected to receive a massive babyface run in the tag team division and will challenge Sheamus and Cesaro for the tag team titles. Whether they or not they win it, that's besides the point, but on paper, Ambrose and Rollins having a run together as a team would be compelling for the fans based on their bad blood as rivals since the Shield disbanded. There's a lot to explore between those two characters as they get reacquainted as partners, especially if they are challenging for the Raw Tag Team titles heading into SummerSlam. WWE officials would also love to have another huge face tag team in the tag team division, which they desperately need since they've broken up like a bunch of fucking tag teams, Jesus Christ. But there is no doubt that the WWE Universe would embrace a massive tag team run for Ambrose and Rollins. It is something both men haven't done before. It could also bring a lot of prestige to the tag team division. There have been some speculation that their run would eventually lead to a heel turn for Dean Ambrose. After that, Ambrose and Rollins could rekindle their rivalry, except with Rollins as the babyface and Ambrose as the heel. The fact that there is a lot more potential for Ambrose and Rollins to create compelling feuds and matches for several months to come is very, very exciting. I am excited about this because if you ask me, Dean Ambrose has been in the same generic feud with The Miz for ages, and he has become absolutely generic and boring. Seth Rollins as a babyface on his own is absolutely repellent and disgusting, reminds me of Randy Orton to some degree, and I just don't enjoy it. So these two guys as a tag team, first of all, can massively help out the tag team division right now, which after SummerSlam is not going to be looking very, very good. I mean, even right now it's looking like trash. You got the Revival, you got Gallows and Anderson, and you got the Hardys. I ain't fucking counting Rhino and Heath Slater because we haven't seen those guys in fucking ages, bro. But that's it. That's two heel tag teams and one babyface tag. Oh, then you have Sheamus and Cesaro. That's three heel tag teams, and that's one babyface tag team. How does that look, bro? How does that look, bro? Awful. awful. And with the baby faces that Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins are, that can really, really be a very, very good tag team, especially if you stretch this out. The Hardys are clearly breaking up after SummerSlam. That is no doubt about it. Either they're breaking up or they're going to become broken and they're going to do the broken gimmick together. They're either doing the broken gimmick with Matt alone or they're doing it together. I don't know which way they want to go. I would think that WWE would rather want Jeff Hardy alone and utilizing him as a single star, but at the same time, if you look at it, Jeff Hardy really wouldn't fit into the Monday Night Raw division right now with all the guys you got, Jason Jordan, Big Cass. These two guys just broke up from tag teams trying to make their names into the division. Got guys like Elias Sampson, Finn Balor, Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns, this guy, that guy, the next guy. I just don't think Jeff Hardy would fit in there, at least not right now. So maybe you would have him stick with Matt Hardy and do the broken gimmick for the tag team titles, the Expedition of Gold, like they did when they were outside of the WWE. They went to Ring of Honor, TNA, they captured all the fucking tag team titles. Maybe they could do that on WWE television together as the Broken Hardys, or maybe you're just going to see Broken Matt. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see, but in the meanwhile, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose could be a good tag team holdover. I mean, really, I don't want to see all the tag teams start to merge out of these two fucking guys who are just doing nothing on WWE television. But Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, there's story there already with the Shield breakup and everything there. Everybody's invested in that story, and I think it could be a very great success story if they were to overcome Sheamus and Cesaro. Not immediately at SummerSlam, because it's the first time they fucking go against Sheamus and Cesaro at SummerSlam. But you stretch this out, have them have a run with the tag team titles on Monday Night Raw, then have Dean Ambrose fucking, they lose the titles, Dean Ambrose turns heel, you fucking take that into a storyline going into WrestleMania maybe even, or into the Royal Rumble, something like that, along those lines. But it can be very good, and it could be along the lines of Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton last year, where it just turns into a fantastic feud, at least for while they were together, and it clicked. So maybe that could be it, but it's interesting to see what they're doing with Ambrose and Rollins. Now I say have them win the tag team titles along the line, stretch it out, give them a 3-month reign, have them lose the titles, Ambrose turns heel, you take it into the Royal Rumble or some shit with these guys feuding, maybe going into WrestleMania 34 even. So I don't know, that's what I'm thinking. Make it long term and make it something good. But besides that, for now, ladies and gentlemen, we're moving on to the next news story. Sami Zayn getting a huge push, main event push, after WWE SummerSlam. In 2014, Sami Zayn was arguably the biggest babyface in the wrestling industry in the early days of NXT. A lot of fans believed he would become a household name once he moved to the main roster. However, a long recovery from shoulder surgery cooled off his momentum. But he has been a strong babyface for both Raw and Smackdown Live. Sami Zayn is slowly climbing the ranks and earning his spot as a main event player. Recently, the mid-year stats have been revealed. By the numbers, Sami Zayn is one of the hardest working performers in WWE today. He's had more matches than anyone, and his work rate is through the roof. As a result, WWE officials have taken notice, and it's now being reported that his reward is coming shortly after SummerSlam. Apparently, Sami will receive a big push into the main event this fall on SmackDown Live. A lot of people will be thrilled to see the underdog from the underground, the heart and soul of NXT, receive a push into the WWE title picture later this year. NXT fans know his potential to be a top babyface for the company, so the focus and attention on him could provide a major boost to his popularity. SmackDown Live has also become the land of opportunity since the brand extension, and Zayn could be the next star to seize that opportunity. Zayn has shared his disappointment with his position in WWE, which makes a lot of sense considering how intense his work rate has been since returning from shoulder surgery. He hasn't won many big matches on the main roster, despite having some big rivalries over the past 2 years. However, it seems that Zayn has earned favor with WWE officials, and the recent win over Mike Kanellis, which is absolutely garbage since that was like Mike Kanellis' second match, but the recent win over Mike Kanellis could be a sign of things to come. The WWE Universe understands that Sami performs with great passion. His enthusiasm is compelling, but the powers that be utilizing it to captivate the WWE Universe could transform him from being a good hand on SmackDown Live to being one of the best baby faces in the company. Sami Zayn is a 15-year veteran who knows how to make the most out of his chances. WWE officials are going to give him an opportunity to be a top guy after SummerSlam. If he performs well and the fans get behind him, a lot can change for him. Sami Zayn is clearly one of the best wrestlers in the WWE. No fucking doubt about it. Sami Zayn is absolutely fantastic. Sami Zayn is absolutely fantastic in the ring. The matches he's had with Kevin Owens, Shinsuke Nakamura, down in NXT, his final match in NXT, Samoa Joe, Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, all these matches that he has had have been absolutely fantastic. Sami Zayn can put on a fucking barnyard brawl. He can fucking have this building blow the roof off of a fucking building. He reminds you of a Daniel Bryan. He is an underdog, and if built correctly, he can be exactly that. Sami Zayn has been, he hasn't been tarnished. He has not been ruined on the main roster, and that's something I'm glad to say. They've kept him somewhat credible. Sami Zayn doesn't need to win every match. He's not the type of guy who needs that, but they've kept him somewhat credible, and if they want to finally capitalize on that and bring Sami Zayn up to the potential that he can be, that he has within him right now, probably since the moment he came up to the main roster, Sami Zayn could have been a world champion. I remember I was calling for WrestleMania 33 for Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens to main event WrestleMania for the Universal Championship. Clearly that was not the case, but Sami Zayn, if they wanted to, they can really bring him into his own, build him up as that Daniel Bryan type underdog, and have him win the WWE Championship from whoever comes out of SummerSlam, the WWE Championship, whether it's a Baron Corbin, whether it's John Cena, whether it's Shinsuke Nakamura. He can put on a fantastic match with any one of those names. Remember the match he had with John Cena for the United States title in the United States Open Challenge? The match he's had with Baron. He's had some decent matches with Baron Corbin as well. Sami Zayn at least can put on a decent to good to great to fantastic match with anybody on that SmackDown Live roster. And if you ask me, like New Japan Pro Wrestling is doing, the best wrestler in your company should be WWE champion. And if you ask me, as that pertains to WWE, that means an AJ Styles should be WWE champion. That means a Shinsuke Nakamura should be WWE champion. And that damn well means that a Sami Zayn should be WWE champion. And if he were to win the WWE championship on SmackDown Live, it would put an absolute smile on my face. I would love to see him as champion. He had a very short reign, like 60 days, as NXT champion. Short for NXT, at least, because on the main roster, that's a lengthy title reign. You did your job, bro. You did your job, bro. But that's besides the point. Sami Zayn, if he won the WWE Championship, it would be a great success story. It would truly prove SmackDown Live as the land of opportunity, and I think that could lead to some of the best matches for that title. Bring prestige to that title, because the title does not bring prestige to the person holding it. The person holding the title brings prestige to the title. And Sami Zayn could be one of those champions who's defending the title. He can be one of those champions who is fighting each and every single night, and he's not only fighting for it and with it in hand, he is putting on some of the best matches in the WWE while doing so. That's what I think a champion should be. At least me, that's what I think a champion should be. Sami Zayn fits that role entirely. That's just what I think. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to go on. Closing Behind the Mic, episode number 30 here today. I hope you enjoyed every single thing that you heard in this video today, because there was a lot of fucking shit to talk about on Behind the Mic. here today. Make sure to go check out all the other content on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. Pay-per-view reviews, Raw and Smackdown reviews, behind the mic each and every single Saturday. Reviews for the NXT TakeOver specials. Of course, preview and predictions for all that good stuff. And of course, make sure to subscribe to the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. Over 200 videos, 200 motherfucking videos for you to go check out on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel from top to bottom, all wrestling. So make sure to go check all that good stuff out, because for now, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Joel Perez of Ringside Wrestling Entertainment. This has been Behind the Mic episode number 30. Make sure to like, smash that like button. Make sure to subscribe, smash that fucking subscribe button. Make sure to comment what you thought of all the news stories down in the comment section below. All the videos in the description below. Twitter account we live to with Raw and Smackdown and pay-per-views. So make sure to go check out all that good stuff, because for now, I am out of here. Thank you very, very much for watching this video. I will see you very, very soon, ladies and gentlemen.